The question that keeps any parent up at night: is my child taking drugs? You might think you only have to worry about illegal narcotics like marijuana and ecstasy, but there has been a dramatic increase in young people abusing drugs that are probably sitting in your own medicine cabinets. More now from NBC's Michael Oku.
It's right there on popular websites like YouTube, an all-out, no-holds-barred, mind-altering trend. Adolescents purportedly getting high on over-the-counter cold medicines, what they call robo-tripping.
I have some friends who will drink an entire bottle of cough syrup.
NyQuil.
Yeah, NyQuil especially. And then I have friends who will take like 10 Sudafed just to trip out because it's a lot cheaper than anything else.
Poison control experts say with an estimated 2.4 million young abusers nationwide, it's on the rise. Between 1999 and 2004, the number of calls involving abuse of cold medicines by adolescents rose more than 860%.
You need to not worry about the street drugs. You need to be aware of the fact that 1 in 10 kids in America are abusing cough medicine to get high.
Health officials say the two most coveted remedies, Coricidin, the candy red tablets nicknamed Skittles, and Robitussin, where robo-tripping gets its name. The cold remedies contain a narcotic called dextromethorphan, what the kids are calling DXM, or Dex. Taken in large doses, Dex produces a sense of euphoria, but it can also bring on seizures, dizziness, even death. 16-year-old Lucia Martino died after a Dex high. This online tribute from her surviving friends. The young woman in this public service announcement was 17 when she almost OD'd.
I didn't care about anything. You know, I didn't even care if I died.
A trade group for the makers of over-the-counter drugs says the products have a long track record of being safe and are only dangerous when abused. They've launched an awareness campaign to educate parents.
Or we could talk about drugs.
Yeah.
It lacks the stigma of a drug of abuse. It's very easy to fool parents just because it's not the little white powder in a baggie anymore. It's a cold preparation.
And the most obvious challenge, the drugs are legal. For today, Michael Oku, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Dr. Harold Koplowitz is director of the New York University Child Study Center. Doctor, good morning, or I should call you Harold. Listen, kids call it Dex. Where do we find it? What's it in? Show us what's on the table.
Well, it's actually in all of these preparations. It's dextromethorphan and DXM. But what we worry about is that these medications are very, very safe and legal, and therefore they are available for abuse. So if your kid
safe and legal if consumed in the right amounts. But
Right.
how much do kids need to consume to get high?
Well, they're going to need to drink half of this bottle to get that kind of buzz.
Half of the bottle. That's quite a lot.
Right, and so the difference has been that you now have tablets, like Coricidin tablets, where you take a whole bunch of little pills, they call them CCC, and you're going to get high too. Now you can understand why kids want to get high. There's peer pressure, and they hear it's safe, and therefore
But
it's
why would
fun.
they want to go this way?
Well, because it's easier to get a hold of than ecstasy or marijuana, and there is this myth that how dangerous could it be because you can get it in a drugstore or you can get it in a grocery store. It's very dangerous because DXM can do a few things. One, it can impair your learning and your memory. It can cause high blood pressure. It eventually can cause seizures, and it can also have an effect on your liver. And with liver failure, you can have death. So these are terrible medications to abuse. And we have a long history of them, by the way. This started in the 1960s. The reason we're seeing this increase now is because of the tablet form. It's so easy. The other reason we're seeing an increase is because of the Internet. There are actual websites where people will tell you how to mix them and what dosage you could take to get what kind of high.
You say that this is not just happening in high schoolers, but also in middle school, 11, 12, 13-year-olds. Here we're going to show people a graphic of what parents should look for in terms of symptoms: slurred speech, dilated pupils, excessive sweating, elevated temperatures, dry mouth, blurred vision. Now, look, all of these things sound like dramatic symptoms. Is it possible that the symptoms that your child could actually not exhibit these very clear symptoms And so that you would not know that your child is using these drugs?
Well, I think you have to be very alert. So if your child has these physical symptoms, that's almost at an emergency level. If your kid has a flushed face, hasn't been exercising, and has slurred speech or is vomiting, you go to the emergency room, because these medications given in high doses is poison. But more importantly, keep an eye on what medications are around your house. Keep an eye on the history of your child's computer to see what kind of sites they're monitoring. But most importantly, if the way you want to prevent this is that parents have to talk to kids.
Even as young as middle school, have that
they have to talk to them about, A, do they know about this?
Yeah.
What is the danger about this? And also, what are the other ways to reduce stress without taking drugs?
Dr. Harold Koplowitz, thank you so much, Harold, for helping us take care of it.
Good to be here.
Yes, pleasure.